You're with Julian and a review of Flight Risk, which is the latest directorial effort. I think I made up the word directorial ages ago and have never questioned whether it exists. The latest directorial film from Mel Gibson, whose films I've always been very fair on. As a director, he's had a very interesting run, actually. I don't... Does anyone on earth know what the film The Man Without a Face is? That was his directorial debut in 1993. Braveheart in 95 is a pile of crap, but it's a very, very enjoyable naff film. But Best Picture Oscar, I don't think so. But it was very enjoyable. It's like people going back to Dances with Wolves or Forrest Gump now, really. And The Passion of the Christ I've never seen. But Apocalypto in 2006, that could have won Best Picture convincingly. It was a fantastic film. And the best film that I've actually seen him in, he produced but didn't direct, which was Get the Gringo, which is a fantastic film. And then he did Hacksaw Ridge, which I think is a bit overrated. I did rate it strongly on release, but it's a little bit too cloying in its patriotism and its religious conviction over the course of the movie. But very interesting film, like his film We Were Soldiers, like very, very violently bloody film. And now he's back with something completely opposite to his widescreen palette of very big budget films, which is Flight Risk, which has been trashed by critics, which is three people in a room, which is not an easy thing to do. So it's three people on a plane, on a light aircraft. So you've got nothing to work with other than actors and the script, and I think everyone comes off quite well. Michelle Dockery is a very interesting looking and feeling actor that I don't know anything about. Was in Downton Abbey, is English like every single American woman or black American man in movies today. They end up being from England. She's like an FBI agent, something like that. And she has to, and I'm very happy to see Topher Grace in this film. He's shown up in a few films, not always great, since he left That 70s Show. But he is like so many, he seems to be attaining a little bit more gravity the older he gets. And I thought he was very good here. It's the most I have believed in him being a film actor, to be honest. And the other one, Mark Wahlberg, who's got his moral ties in a similar basket to some of Mel Gibson's moral ties, I guess, who I've always had a lot of time for in films. So Mark Wahlberg is a pilot of a Cessna or some very small plane, and Michelle Dockery turns up with her prisoner, who is Topher Grace, and he has basically been told, either you go state's evidence and go into hiding, or well, he's not really left with a choice, because it's very apparent that the mob that he was an accountant for is going to kill him. And that's the last thing he's got, is that basically he can go into witness protection, but only if he testifies. And the whole film is that journey from them being picked up at this small airport traveling to New York. Every element of it is obvious and telegraphed. You know exactly what's happening from the start if you've seen any movies at all. Was there any interesting elements? Not really. The way it unfolds, it relies on writing. So the fact that it's got so trashed, it really does rely on everyone doing their bit as an actor. And I thought that everyone was quite good. There are certainly fall down elements from Wahlberg's performance, but not always, and I found him quite an interesting character. And the other two I did as well. I thought every single element in this film you can map out from the premise. But overall, as a very low-key B-movie actioner, I thought it was fairly watchable for a once through. I certainly didn't have much in the way of criticism for it. And you do get some nice landscapes and the exterior of the plane and everything going on, and some some sporadic violence here and there to lighten the tone. I thought it wasn't bad. I mean, it's not a particularly good B-movie actioner, But given that it's got an absolute trashing, I'm going to give Flight Risk a very reasonable 6 out of 10 for a once through. It's not as terrible as people have made out.